Alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalam ala rasulillah wa ala alihi wa ashabihi wa man wala. Amma ba'du. Then we continue inshallah ta'ala with the word for word reading of the Quran, and we're going to start, as we said, from the back of Juz Amma and work our way forward. We're going to try to start at the top of a page and work our way down, especially on this page here, because most likely after memorizing Surah Al-Fatiha, you would memorize Surah Al-Ikhlas, and then Surah Al-Falaq and Surah An-Nas, and from there you would work backwards. So we're going to do the same process for us here in our understanding, inshallah ta'ala. So it says Surah Al-Ikhlas. Everything we said yesterday about surah, right, being mudaf, and everything about it being singular and so on, the meaning of fence or closing in an idea, it all applies here. Surah Al-Ikhlas. Ikhlas comes from the root kha, lam, sad. Kha, lam, sad. And the meaning of kha, lam, sad is to purify, to get rid of. So ikhlas is, for instance, they use the example when explaining this word in Arabic, when you take the bee or you take the honey from bees, then inside that honey there will be some comb, some of the nest, some of the honeycomb. And when you purify and you take that out of the honey, so you have pure honey, this is the meaning of ikhlas. So this surah is known as the surah of purity or sincerity, because it's solely for Allah Azza wa Jal. Surah Al-Ikhlas. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. We explained yesterday in Al-Fatiha. Now we come to Qul. Qul is from the root qaf, waw, lam, right? Qala yaqulu. Qala yaqulu. Here it is a command verb. It's a fil amr, mabni ala sukoon. It's a fil amr, mabni ala sukoon. It's always going to have this sukoon there, and it means you. It's telling you, you say. You say. Huwa. Huwa, we already know, is a pronoun meaning him or he, right? And here it's the mubtada. It's marfu', but because it is a pronoun, it is mabni on this fatha here, huwa. Say he, that's our mubtada, that's our subject. He is Allah. He is Allah. Allah, lafdul jalala, is our khabar. Allah, lafdul jalala, is the khabar here. It's marfu'. That's why we have the dhamma on Allah. He is Allah. Ahad, right? Ahad is a khabar to Allah Azza wa Jal. Say he is Allah, one. Right? He is Allah, one. And there are many different ways grammatically to look at this. Is ahad a sifa here of Allah, or is it a badal, or is it a khabar, and so on, so forth. But the point is it is marfu', so it is either a badal or a sifa or a khabar, right? Allah is one. Allah is one. Say he is Allah, one. Or Allah is one. Say he, Allah is one. Right? Allah is one. Allahu Samad. Allahu Samad. Allah again is here, the mubtada, lafdul jalala, the mubtada, marfu'. Right? Is another sentence. Allah as-Samad. Allah is as-Samad. As-Samad means that which things turn to for their necessities. So we say he is eternal and absolute, is what many times we find the translation. And the word samad has to do with, we'll say, like a complete circle. right? A complete circle. There's nothing you can do to make it more complete, and you cannot take anything out of it. It is complete, right? As-Samad is like this. Allah does not need anything, yet everything needs Him. Allah is perfect and complete. He does not need anything, and everything turns to Him for their needs. In the tafsir, we have here a statement of Ibn Abbas radiallahu anhu, who says that As-Samad is the master of everything that he is in charge of, and he is the one who is noble, complete in his might and his greatness, the one who is patient and complete in his patience or forbearance, the one who is rich and complete in his richness, the one who is able to compel and complete in his compelling, and the one who is knowledgeable, complete in his knowledge, wise, complete in his wisdom, and that is only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. In general, the meaning of As-Samad, we get translated as the eternal, the absolute, but the meaning is because it itself is complete and everything else is in need of it. That's the meaning of As-Samad. Allahu Samad. Samad here is your khabar. It's your khabar marfu. Allah As-Samad. He is eternal and absolute. Everything is in need of Him, and He is not in need of anything. He is complete and perfect. Lam yalid wa lam yulad. Lam yalid wa lam yulad. Lam here, we know, is a particle.
Yeah, pretty much. You know, I had to take a little break.
Abdullah. SubhanAllah. Lam, we know, is a particle which negates a past tense verb, right? Or negates a present tense verb with the meaning of the past tense. It negates a present tense verb with the meaning of the past tense. So we call that in Arabic, we say it's harf al-nafi because it negates, wa jazm because it makes the verb after it majzoom, as we can see the sukoon there, and qalb, meaning it changes this present tense verb to being in the past tense in the meaning, right? So lam yalid, lam is a negation of the past using a present tense verb, and it makes it majzoom. Yalid comes from walada yalidu. Walada yalidu, meaning to have children. Walada yalidu. Lam yalid. He did not have any children. He did not have any children. Walam yulad. Yulad is, walam here is harf atf, right? It's a particle which makes this sentence fall in line with the sentence before it, or phrase. Lam here with the same function, as we can see the jazm, right? The sign of jazm there, the sukoon. Yulad, meaning nor, this is passive here, right? This is a passive verb, and it means he did not give birth, meaning he is not the father of Isa or Uzair or the Malaika, as the Quraysh wanted to claim that the angels are the banat of Allah, and the Christians say that Isa is the son of Allah and Uzair is the son of Allah. So Allah negated that. Lam yalid walam yulad, and nor was he born. Nor was he born. He was not born. He did not give birth, or he did not have children, nor was he given birth to. Walam yulad. It's a passive form here. Nor was he given birth to. This surah, which may help us make a little sense of it, it was revealed, they say, twice. Once in Mecca and once in Medina. Once in Mecca and once in Medina. They say that the mushrikeen had came to the Prophet ﷺ and asked the Prophet ﷺ what was the lineage of his Lord. And so Allah revealed this surah. Lam yalid wa lam yulad. He revealed the whole surah. He does not beget, nor was he begotten. He did not have children, nor was he born. Right? Nor was he born. Something that was born it was non-existent before it was born. And so, therefore, Allah is negating the fact that He never existed, because He always was and always will be. Another time, the second time this was revealed, they asked, what is your Lord made of? Is He made up of rubies or diamonds, or what kind of material is He made up of? And Allah revealed this. قُلْ هُوَ اللَّهُ أَحَدٌ اللَّهُ الصَّمَدُ لَمْ يَلِدْ وَلَمْ يُولَدْ. He was not born, He did not give birth, or He did not have children, nor was He given birth to. وَلَمْ يَكُنْ لَهُ كُفُوًا أَحَدٌ. وَلَمْ يَكُنْ, or yakun, but I'm saying yakun because of the lam here. Walam here is again the particle of nafi. It's negating, and it makes the verb after it majzoom, and it also makes it into the past tense, even though originally yakun was yakunu, right, with a wow. But because we made it majzoom, it became yakun. And therefore we had a sukoon on the noon and a sukoon on the wow. And we can't have two sukoons next to each other, so we get rid of the weak letter. So it says yakun. Lam yakun or lam yakul, because it reaches over to this lam here due to tajweed purposes, right? Idgham. Yakun means to be, right? To be. Walam yakul lahu, and there is not for him, lahu, for him, la here being harf jar, and hu being a pronoun, but in the position of being majroor, but it's mabni upon this dhamma. Lam yakul lahu, he does not have kufuwan. Kufuwan comes from, right, kuf, or kuf with a hamza, meaning he does not have any associate. Kufu is an equal, right? Is an equal, something that is equal or comparable, right? So when you get married, a person, a man and a woman, should have this kuf, meaning the woman should not be, come from such a rich family that she cannot deal with this poor individual's taste in food and clothes and housing and so on and so forth. They should have some compatibility. The major compatibility that we can consider is the religion. However, there are also other factors of compatibility. Maybe he grew up in nice big houses and she grew up in small ones, or vice versa. She grew up in big houses and he grew up poor, and she's used to having a maid, and she's used to having all these things, and now he can't provide for her. This could cause stress. So this is this kuf. وَلَمْ يَكُلْ لَهُ كُفُوًا أَحَدٌ. Kuf here, kufu is your khabaru kana, mansub, and ahad is the ismu kana, delayed, meaning there is not anyone, ahadun, who is similar or comparable or compatible with him, right? There's not anyone similar or comparable. We use the word compatible when we're talking about marriage, with him. وَلَمْ يَكُلْ لَهُ كُفُوًا أَحَدٌ. قُلْ هُوَ اللَّهُ أَحَدٌ. Say, He is Allah, the one, or say He, Allah, is one. Allahu Samad. Allah is a Samad, meaning He is complete and perfect. He does not need anything, while everything needs Him. Lam yalid, he was not born, he did not give birth, he did not cause any, he does not have children. Walam yulad, nor was he given birth to, he was not born, he never didn't exist, he always existed. Walam yakul lahu kufuwan ahad, and there is not for him anyone that is comparable or equal to him. Are there any questions? Abdullah, I'm going to let your mic off if you're done talking, inshallah. Any questions? AG, I don't know. Is man or woman? You're just participating by listening? I don't know. It's nice to have feedback. I know if I'm doing a good job or not. And not just a good job for Maryam or Abdullah, but a good job for you. You come and you spend your time with us and your internet time and, you know, your days of fasting. It'd be nice to know. Barakallahu feek. Anyway. Surah Al-Falaq. Surah Al-Falaq. Al-Falaq comes from Fa, Lam, Qaf, and it means the break or the splitting here. It means the daybreak. The daybreak. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. We already went through this. Right? Qul a'udhu bi rabbil falaq. Qul, again, say, meaning you. Allah is telling Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam to say. And by him telling the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam to say, he is therefore telling us to say. A'udhu. A'udhu, we've already been through this as well, because this is part of al-isti'adha, the phrase that you should say before reciting the Quran. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. So a'udhu is a present tense verb, marfu', right? And is marfu' with a dhamma, which is apparent here, a'udhu, and the fa'il, the doer of the verb, is ana, I seek refuge, a'udhu, right? A'udhu bi rabbil falaq, a'udhu bi rabbil falaq. Bi, I seek refuge with or in. Either way, I seek refuge with the Lord. We already had the word Rabb. I seek refuge with or in the Lord. You can seek refuge in the Lord or with the Lord. It depends on what you prefer as a translation here. And it's a harf jar. Ba is a harf jar, causing Rabb to be majroor here. Rabbi is majroor because of the ba. Bi Rabbi. And it is mudaf. Rabbi is mudaf to Al-Falaq. Al-Falaq is mudaf ilay. Therefore, majroor, and the sign of their jar, both of them here, is the kasra. Al-Falaq, as we said, is the daybreak. Qul a'udhu bi rabbil falaq. Say, I seek refuge in the Lord of the daybreak, in the Lord of dawn, in the Lord of the daybreak. Min sharri ma khalaq. Min, from, and it's a harf jar. It's a preposition causing the noun after it to be majroor. So min sharri. Shar, sheen ra, meaning evil. From the evil, and it's majroor with a kasra here after min. Min sharri ma khalaq. Ma here, and many times when you're doing the i'rab, when you're figuring out the purpose of what things are, they could have various options for us to do. So ma here could be an ismu mawsul, meaning a connecting word, right? The evil of what, right? Translated like the word what. Or it could be mudaf ilay. Either way it goes, right? To not get into the splitting of the hairs here, right? Between the people of Kufa and Basra and all of this. It means the evil of what? Khalaqa, he created. Khalaqa, he created, meaning Rabbil Falaq, the Lord of the daybreak, what he created. From the evil of what he created. Wa min, and from, wa again, harf atf, min is a preposition, harf jar, right? Mabni ala sukun, and it's going to be, the noun after is going to be majroor. Sharri again with the kasra. Ghasiqin idha waqab. Wa min, and from the evil, wa min sharri, from the evil, ghasiqin. Ghasiq is from ghain, sin, qaf. Ghain, sin, qaf means the dusk, the time right before the night is complete and full. Basically around Maghrib time, the dusk. غاسق. من شر غاسق. From the evil of the dusk. From the approaching night. Right? From the evil of the approaching night. And this is majroor because it is mudaf ilay. The evil of the approaching night. Right? Either here is a dharf. It's a dharf which is mabni on that fat, on a sukoon here. Mabni on a sukoon on that alif. It's a dharf of zaman. When. It means when. 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 Waqab. Waqab comes from waw, qaf, ba, meaning to become dark and gloomy. And from the dusk or the approaching night when it becomes dark and gloomy. إذا وقب. Min sharri ghasiqin idha waqaba. From the evil of the approaching night when it becomes dark and gloomy. Now, what does this mean? We understand maybe the words now. قُلْ أَعُوذُ بِرَبِّ الْفَلَقِ مِنْ شَرِّ مَا خَلَقَ وَمِنْ شَرِّ غَاسِقٍ إِذَا وَقَبَ. I seek refuge in the Lord of the daybreak, of the dawn. Min sharri ma khalaq, from the evil of what he created. Wa min sharri ghasiqin idha waqab, and from the evil of the approaching night when it becomes dark and gloomy. But what does this mean? What does this mean? The scholar says here in the tafsir, and I'm just summarizing the tafsir that's over here right now because later on we're going to read it word for word. He says that the reason for us seeking refuge in the Lord of the daybreak is because just as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can cause the darkness that is surrounding the world, as far as we can see at nighttime, for a big portion of the world, 12 time zones, it's dark, right? A big portion of the world is dark. Just like Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can cause light to go over all of this darkness, which in this darkness the evil comes out and increases, the crimes increase, and so on and so forth. Just like Allah can cause the light to come out and to surround and get rid of all of that darkness, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is also to protect the one who is seeking refuge in him from all evils. Is that clear? وَمِن شَرِّ النَّفَّاثَاتِ فِي الْعُقَدِ. And from the evil, وَمِن شَرِّ, and we already have done that, right? مِن شَرِّ نَفَّاثَاتِ. Naffatha comes from noon, fa, tha. Noon, fa, tha, meaning to blow. Nafatha, meaning to blow. Nafathat are those women who blow. Nafathat, nafatha would be one. Nafatha would be one. Nafatha would be one. Nafathat, those women who blow. Who blow. Fil uqad. Min sharri nafathati, majroor here with a kasra. Right? Majroor with a kasra because mudaf ilay. Fil uqad. Fi is a harf jar, making the noun after it majroor. As we can see, uqad here has a kasra. Uqad has a kasra after fi. So we say fil uqad. Uqad is the plural of uqda. Right? Uqda. Uqad is the plural. We also know this word, or the root of this word of ayn, qaf, dal, related to aqidah. Right? Aqidah. Aqidah is something which is tied to you, your belief. It's not something which wavers. It is something which you hold, and that's it. That's what you believe. This, like it's a knot in it, like it is tied to you. This is the relationship of the word. Fil uqad min sharri nafathati fil uqad. This is because the nafathat, those women who blow on knots, this is magic. They would tie a knot and blow on it and put a spell on a person. Tie another knot and another spell, another knot and another spell. We know when the Prophet ﷺ had magic put on him, they found his hair, it had knots in it, he had to untie them, right? This is how the people put magic on people. Min sharri nafathati fil uqad. Wa min sharri hasidin idha hasad. Wa min sharri, we already been through this. Hasidin idha hasad. From the shar of the hasid. From ha, sin, dal. It's on the scale of fa'il. The one who does the hasad. The one who does the hasad. Hasid. Majroor, because it's mudaf ilay. Majroor with the kasras. Right? Hasid, the one who is envious or jealous. Either hasad, when he is jealous or envious. When he displays, it's a fil madi, right? It's fil madi, mabni ala fatta. It's, on this fatta there. Meaning when he is envious. The evil of the envious person, when he displays his envy. When he, not displays it, but when he is envious. Right? What is envy? What is envy here? The scholars say that envy is to wish for someone to have the favors that they have removed from them, even if they don't have it, they don't get it themselves. Right? So someone might say, no, the meaning of envy is he has a new car and I want that new car. I don't want him to have it. I want it. That's not the meaning of envy. That might be a picture of it, an image of it, an example of it, or something. But that's not the real complete meaning. The meaning is he's got a really nice car and I don't want him to have that car even if I don't get it. I just don't want him to have it. That's the meaning of hasad. Right? وَمِن شَرِّ حَاسِدٍ إِذَا حَسَدٍ. And from the evil of the envious person when he envies. So he says, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Qul a'udhu bi Rabbil Falaq. Say, I seek refuge in the Lord of the daybreak. Min sharri ma khalaq, from the evil of what he created. Wa min sharri ghasiqin idha waqab, and from the evil of the approaching night when it becomes dark and gloomy. Wa min sharri nafathati fil uqad, and from those women who blow on knots, meaning the magicians and the sorcerers. وَمِن شَرِّ حَاسِدٍ إِذَا حَسَدٍ, and from the evil of the envious person when he envies. Are there any questions? Abdullah, I tried to turn on your microphone a number of times. There you go.
I was inside. I can't, on this phone, I can't get to my mute button.
No problem. You, any questions?
Nah.
طيب. Then he says, Surah An-Nas. Surah An-Nas. Right? An-Nas. I'm going to mute you until the end of the surah, inshallah, then, because you're very loud. Surah An-Nas. An-Nas. Right? An-Nas, meaning mankind. The root of An-Nas is Alif, Nun, Sin. Right? Ins. Nas. Right? The people, the mankind. The surah of An-Nas, the people or mankind. He says, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, which we've been through. Qul a'udhu bi Rabbin Nas. We've reached to the point, and I said Nas is from Ins and it's related to it. However, it's actually from Nos. Noon, wow, Sin. I apologize. Noon, wow, Sin. Right? Meaning people in general. Right? People in general. Qul a'udhu bi rabbin nas. We've already been through Qul a'udhu. Qul is a command verb. Mebni ala sukun. Meaning enter, you, say. A'udhu. Fil mudari. Marfu' bil dhamma. It's a present tense verb. Marfu' with the dhamma. A'udhu. Meaning, and the fa'il is estimated to be ana. I seek refuge. Bi Rabbi, in the Lord of. Jar wa majroor, right? Jar, harf jar, ba. Rabbi ismu majroor, right? With the kasra. Bi Rabbin nas. Rabbin nas is mudaf ilay. I seek refuge in the Lord of mankind, in the Lord of people. Nas, majroor. I seek refuge in the Lord of the people. Malikin nas. Maliki Nas. Maliki we had in Surah Al-Fatiha. Mim, Lam, Kaf. Here it means the king of the people. Malik. Malik means the owner. Right? Malik means the king. Malik is the owner. Not everyone who owns something is the king of it. Right? Not everyone who owns something, and not everyone who's the king of something owns it. Right? Not everyone who's the king of something owns it. The people could get rid of that king. He doesn't own it. If it was really his, then they couldn't do so. Right? So here, Malikin Nas, the king of mankind. The king of mankind. Ilahin Nas. Ilahi is from Alif Lam Ha here, means the God of mankind. The God of mankind. Ilah is something which is worshipped. Here, the Ilah of mankind. This shows us that meaning of that some groups say about the meaning of La ilaha illallah, that there's no creator except Allah, or there's no king except Allah, there's no owner except Allah. This is not true, because Allah Azza wa Jal here distinguished between, right? He distinguished between Rabb and Malik and Ilah. He gave them three different words. He didn't just repeat himself. He gave them three different words which have three different meanings. So the word Ilah, La ilaha illallah, there's nothing worthy of worship. Doesn't mean there's no creator. This is true, but it also means, right, maybe there's a creator, but he's not worthy of worship. Right? Maybe there's a king, but he's not worthy of worship. Right? But here, the thing which is worthy of worship, Ilahin Nas. A'udhu bi Rabbin Nas. Rabbi, we said, was majroor after the ba. Likewise, Maliki is majroor after that same ba. And Ilahi is majroor after the same ba. Now, are they a sifa or a badal? Then this is a difference of opinion amongst the grammarians. Malikin Nas could be a sifa of Rabbin Nas, the Lord of mankind, who is also the king of mankind. Ilahin Nas, the God of mankind, right? Or they could be badals. I seek refuge in the Lord of mankind. I seek refuge in the king of mankind. I seek refuge in the God of mankind. Either way it goes, the grammar is the same and the meaning is mostly the same. Just one, is it a new name, or is it an adjective? So I seek refuge in the Lord of mankind, the king of mankind, the God of mankind. Min sharril waswasil khannas. Min sharri, from the evil. We've already been through it. Min is a preposition, harf jar. The noun following it is majroor. Min sharri al-waswas. Al-waswas is one of those words that has four root letters. Right? Waswas. And they happen to be repeated. Right? and we're going to go over this in the verb a day. We've been slacking on that program just due to getting used to and accustomed to our program of Ramadan. We haven't done any more, but we'll continue inshallah. This waswas, there's types of verbs which have 4 root letters, as this does, and they repeat, such as in dagdag, meaning to tickle, and other than that. Waswas, right? Waswas, meaning to whisper. Waswas. Min sharril waswas. Waswas is the one who whispers. Al-waswas is the file here, the whisperer. Al-Khannas, right? And it's mudaf ilay, majroor, waswasi. Al-Khannasi. Al-Khannas is a na'at. It's an adjective, right? It's a na'at. It's a sifa, an adjective for waswas, right? So it's majroor, like it, with that kasra there, right? Al-Khannas comes from kha, noon, sin, meaning to retreat. From the retreating whisperer, right? The retreating whisperer. What does it mean? Shaitan, he here is the retreating. Waswas here is shaitan, of course, the whisperer. He's the one who's doing this whispering, because Allah doesn't have to secretly reveal his message, right? But shaitan has a mission, so he's secretive about it. Al-Khannas, meaning he retreats when Allah's name, according to the tafsir, when the person mentions Allah, this person, then shaitan retreats. Al-Waswas, he retreats from us. When we forget to remember Allah, when we're negligent and neglectful in our remembrance of Allah Azza wa Jal, then shaitan comes and whispers to us. But when we're mindful of our duties and of our responsibility to Allah, and that we were created to worship Him, then we remember Him and we focus on that. We're saying our du'as before we eat, after we eat, before we get dressed, when we take off our clothes, when we enter the house, when we leave the house, when we get in the car, when we arrive at a place, when we, all of these adhkar, then shaitan, khannas, he's going to retreat from us. Khannasa, yakhnisu, he's going to retreat, right? Min sharril waswasil khannas, from the evil of the retreating whisperer. Alladhi, alladhi here is a ismu mawsul. It is a connecting word, a connecting noun, but it's also a sifa to al-waswas, right? It's a sifa, it's an adjective, because it's mabni on the sukoon here, on that ya, alladhi, there's a sukoon there that we don't write. It's mabni, we don't get to see the sign of it being majroor. Alladhi yuwaswisu. Alladhi yuwaswisu, which is the verb that we have for waswas, the whispering. Alladhi yuwaswisu, present tense verb, fi'l mudari' marfu' bid-damma. Yuwaswisu fi sudurin nas. Alladhi yuwaswisu, who whispers, fi, harf jar, making the noun after it majroor, sudur. Sudur is the plural of sadr. Sadr, meaning the chest, right? The chest area, meaning your heart here, right? Your chest. He whispers into the heart. The word here used is chest. Sudurin nas, into the breasts or the chests or the hearts of mankind. Alladhi, the one who whispers, yuwaswisu fi sudurin nas, he whispers into the chests of mankind. And it didn't say fi uduni al-mankind, into the ears of mankind, because shaitan is whispering into the chest. It's not something you're going to hear. When shaitan whispers to you, you're not going to hear it, but he's going to make you think it. He's going to make you feel it. He's going to make you believe it. He's going to put it in your chest. He's not going to put it in your ear. If he told you, right, kill somebody, you say, man, get out of here. I'm not killing anybody. But if he puts it in your heart to kill somebody, then that's easier. It's easier because it's a resolve. It's something that you have. Alladhi yuwaswisu fi sudurin nas, the one who whispers into the hearts of mankind, or the chests of mankind. Min al-jinnati wan nas, from the jinn, min, harf jar, making the noun after it majroor. Jinnati, the collective noun for jinn, right? Jinnati, and this fatha here is for reading purposes. Min al jinnati wan nas. Nas is also majroor after the min, because harf what shows harf atf. This wow, harf atf, the connecting, shows us the connection between the two sentences or phrases. So min al jinnati wan nas, from amongst the jinn and mankind. So now the question comes, if there's not any questions according to the Arabic of it, the question comes, we understand how the jinn from the shayateen can whisper into the hearts of mankind. But how do mankind whisper into the hearts? I thought the mankind whispered into the ears. Allah Azza wa Jalla says, الَّذِي يُوَسْوِسُ فِي صُدُورِ النَّاسِ مِنَ الْجِنَّةِ وَالنَّاسِ, from the one who whispers into the chests or breasts of mankind, from the jinn and mankind. So like we said, it's easy to understand how the jinn is going to whisper into the heart. But how does the mankind whisper into the heart? The Shaykh, he says here, Ash-Shawkani in his tafsir, he says this is because he gives him advice. He gives him advice in his ear, but he does so in a way that these words rest in his heart. He makes him think that he is a sincere advisor to him. He makes him think that what he's telling him is what is good for him and his family and those around him and for his future and so on and so forth. And this settles in his heart. And from there, this is how the human beings whisper into the hearts of other human beings. Right? It's not just that they tell them to do something as a whisper, but rather they come as a form of it, as in the form of a sincere advisor, and they make them think that what he's telling them is what's best. And this is how the mankind yuwaswisu fi sudurin nas. So, Qul a'udhu bi rabbin nas, say, command to the Prophet ﷺ, and therefore command to us as his followers. I seek refuge in the Lord of mankind, Malikin Nas, the King of mankind, Ilahin Nas, the God of mankind, Min Sharril Waswasil Khannas, from the evil of the retreating whisperer. He retreats when we remember Allah Azza wa Jal. Alladhi yuwaswisu fi sudurin nas, the one who whispers into the breasts or the chests of mankind. Min al-jinnati wan nas, from the jinn and from the people. This surah has so many benefits. As we said, ilah, the fact that Allah used the word ilah separate from Rabb and Malik, right? Then we know that the meaning of La ilaha illallah is not, the true meaning of La ilaha illallah is not there's no Lord but Allah, or there's no creator but Allah, or no king but Allah. Rather, it means there's nothing worthy of worship except Allah. And this surah proves it, because Allah showed there's a difference between those words. Also, we see that Shaitan will not have an influence over us, and he will not even try to influence us if we remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because when we remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then he runs away, he retreats. So this should be a reason for us to try our best to keep our tongues moist with the remembrance of Allah, as we find in the last hadith from Ibn Rajab in the 40 hadith with his additions. And then finally, we see how some of the people can claim to be sincere wishers, sincere well-wishers for us, sincere advisors to us, and yet they are trying their best to whisper into our hearts to get us to do what they want us to do. Are there any questions about this? Abu Muhammad, do you have a microphone or a headset? Although you came really late, so I don't know what you heard. I tried to turn it on, but you have to accept that. Any questions, Abdullah?
Nah.
Any questions, Abu Muhammad?
No, I just came in, but no, I don't have any questions.
Okay, no problem. This is what we wanted to cover today. Juz Amma is going to have for us 22 or 23 pages. Along with the 3 days that we did with the Fada'il, the virtues of learning and listening and reciting the Quran, learning and teaching and reciting the Quran, and Al-Fatiha, then we should be able to cover 1 page a day bi'idhnillah ta'ala inside of our class and complete the month, right? And complete the entire Juz Amma within the month. And we're going to have, inshallah ta'ala, I'm not sure when, it might be Jumu'ah, or it might be a Sabt or Al-Ahad. I can't promise yet, but one day we're going to come to class and we're going to have a sheikh in here with us who speaks English, and he's going to listen to you guys recite them. He's not going to make sure that you have perfect tajweed and this and that, but he's going to make sure that you don't have any mistakes which change the meanings. He's not going to so much worry about your idgham and your ikhfa and like this, but he's going to make sure that you don't have any mistakes which change the meanings. He's going to listen to you guys recite, bi'idhnillah ta'ala. Sound good? It's going to be tomorrow, Saturday, or Sunday. I can't promise. But inshallah ta'ala, we're going to make sure it's going to be one of those days, bi'idhnillah, for you guys. There's no need for us to go further. Inshallah ta'ala, tomorrow we will meet with Qul ya ayyuhal kafirun, right? إذا جاء النصر والفتح, إذا جاء النصر الله والفتح, and Tabat Yada. Bi'idhnillah ta'ala, we will cover these 3 tomorrow. طيب? سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
وعليكم السلام.